This is the AlphaZero versus Stockfish match. This is game 10. And this is the position that caught my attention concerning this game. And this is move 26. Alright, let's just look at this position. Black has 1, 2, 3, 4. There's five minor pieces. Or 5 pieces. 6 including the queen. I'm talking about the minor pieces. And white has 4. But yet the position, I'm using one of the latest Stockfish from the Stockfishes from last week. During the match they used Stockfish8 versus AlphaZero, and this position caught my eye. Look at this, the queen is on h1, but yet the position is even. I mean, this is absolutely extraordinary. In other words, white has enough compensation to counter black's piece advantage. This is absolutely astonishing with the queen on h1. Let's see how we got there, and let's analyze this game using one of the latest versions of Stockfish, not Stockfish8, which played in the game, and let's see if they have the same, they come to the same conclusions during the analysis. First move, knight f3. Let me get my keyboard. Okay, here we go. Knight f3, knight f6. This turns out to be a Queen's Indian. Queen's Indian, b6, g3. So far, these are the standard opening moves of the Queen's Indian. You see here, e17, Queen's Indian, but g3, bishop e7, bishop g2, bishop e7. And indeed, we have a bishop e7. Castles. So far, these are just opening moves, and d5 is known. d5 is a standard move in this position. E takes. Knight h4, attacking the d5 pawn, and also pinning the d5 pawn, because pawn can't take because bishop takes b7. And then bishop takes a8 and the rook. So c6 protecting. Takes. Knight f5. Now, although white is down a pawn, white has compensation already with that powerful knight on f5. And it's hard for black to develop the queen side at this point. So we continue. Knight c7, d4, d5, attacking e4, and trying to gain some space also. So then we have e takes, knight c3. Now this is where we start to get into a little bit of tactics. Knight takes, then queen g4, threatening queen g7 mate. Now let's see what the latest Stockfish development says. Looking at the analysis, the two best moves are queen at g4 and b takes c3. AlphaZero chose the more aggressive and threatening queen g4, and black has to defend against that move. Right now I'm looking at the position. What if bishop f6? Bishop f6 is it's not a bad move. Then simply b takes. And white still holds a slight initiative, although being down a pawn. But black plays g6. Then we have knight check, king g7, and b takes. I imagine also white did not want to trade queens in that b takes c3 earlier line. Probably bishop c8, attacking the queen, queen f4, queen d6. Now I was looking at, see what if bishop a6. No, that would give white a huge advantage with rook here, rook to e1. Now let's look at the threats here. Trying to look at the compensation. Knight takes. Let's see. For instance, let's say if he goes here. No, I mean, not c5. The computers like white's position after bishop a6, then rook e1. Okay. And queen to d6 is a move that Stockfish chooses also. Queen to d6, trying to trade. If black trades queens, then black's position is easier to manage. Queen to a4, g5. Now, this is interesting. Here, to g5. Now, white is going to give up this knight. Now, because white has the opportunity to play knight here, knight g4, then the computer likes f5. So in other words, after rook to e1, AlphaZero could see that AlphaZero has an advantage, a positional advantage. But queen g5, but after rook to e1, the evaluation is good for black, but yet AlphaZero chose this move. It chose to give up the knight, which is a Tau-like decision. In compensation, AlphaZero sees that it has compensation, so h4 threatening, h4 actually threatening rook takes bishop, queen takes, then bishop takes g5, winning a queen, f6, develop the bishop, I guess wanting to put this rook a to d1 eventually. Bishop f5, rook a to d1, evaluation. The latest Stockfish says that we're all even. Again, AlphaZero had to have seen that by sacrificing the knight, positionally, it would be okay. Because white has the initiative. I find that that's amazing. Queen to a3. AlphaZero does not want to trade queens. b5. Pawn takes, check f takes. And then queen here. So far, the latest Stockfish says that everything's even. Now queen to h1 is also chosen by Stockfish because the queen doesn't have any good squares. If queen here, the queen is trapped. Rook to d8. Queen to e5, maybe then bishop f6. Then the queen has to take f6. So queen h1 is the safest move. Everything is still even. Let's see if we can find out where the tables turn, where black makes a mistake, if any. Bishop g6, bishop takes, h takes. Now, Stockfish doesn't find this 29th move, queen to h3. Stockfish likes bishop here, check, and then exchange off everything, which would result in an even position. But maybe this is the move that Stockfish overlooked in the match, queen to h3. Now that I have that in hash, let me go back and see if it's duplicated. Still no. So this would be a good move, a good position to experiment with to see if any other engines can find this queen to h3 move. We're at depth 41. I'm sorry, let me switch over to 8 cores. That's what I should have had it on, 8 cores, 8 CPUs. Okay, we're at 8 CPUs, or 4 hyper-threaded. Still no queen to h3, so let's see what happens. Queen h3, bishop f6. So far, the latest Stockfish says everything is even. Queen takes. Well, I just realized something. Let's see. After queen to h3, what's the threat here? If we go here, oh no, it's my fault. Then bishop d4, right? Because can't play bishop f6 because bishop takes. See, that's why we have the engines. Bishop f6. But now we can play rook h1. After bishop f6, king to g2. Let's see, maybe we still can't. Let's see. Well, yeah, we can play rook h8 now. Then queen to g4. Well, that's a mistake according to the engines. Rook h8 and queen g4. Probably, yeah, with initiative. Let's see if we go somewhere. What is the threat here? Oh, simply bishop takes g5. Rook back to f8, bishop d4. Even a piece down in this position, white has the advantage. I mean, that's amazing. So rook to h1. Queen to g8, c4. Trying to break up that pawn chain over there. Now, so far, everything is still even, although AlphaZero is a piece down. So far, no big errors. We're still even. Bishop takes, rook takes. And that may have been an inaccuracy. Okay, going back after everything is in the hash. So white had an advantage anyway. So rook to e8 seems to be the turning point here. That was a mistake. The latest Stockfish likes a5. And white has a minimal advantage here. Let's see what this, but Stockfish played rook to e8. Let's see. That's not even a choice. That was what's equivalent to a blunder for the computer, actually. Rook to e8. So the 32nd move was the turning point here. Rook to e8, bishop d4, getting rid of that bishop, bishop takes, rook takes, rook d8. Now, white has a big advantage. Let's see, let me go backwards here. Yeah, rook to e8 is a big mistake. That was a blunder. Rook e8. But I wonder where that came from. Bishop takes, rook to d8, rook takes, queen to e6. And the knight still isn't even in the game. And white has all of these threats on the king side. Knight, rook to d1, pinning the knight. So that was the whole point of the play, is that black is not developed. Now, you're there, then queen, and that's knight a6. You can't play that because of queen to e5 with mate threats. Yeah, queen f6, rook here. Then it'd be a queen against these two minor pieces. So queen, knight, rook d7, knight c5, rook takes, knight takes, rook takes. So let's see if all of this is forced here. Let me go back over this. Rook takes, queen e6 with multiple threats. Black is forced to develop the knight, then the knight is pinned. So, in other words, Stockfish had to give up a piece for mobility. Rook takes. So, white is up the exchange. So now it's just a matter of technique. And even, well, for computers, this has to be, everything is precise, so it's not easy. Easy victory from this point. We'll just play it out. These are some very precise moves. Of course, now it's a decisive advantage for white. Knight check. So we're just playing out the moves, the remaining moves, g5, and then king to d4. And then now it's all over. So the main path to victory here was black was tied up, was undeveloped on the queen side. But it's amazing that AlphaZero could see all of that. And this queen to h3 move. Okay, now, well, that's after I've gone over the game, but from scratch, I wonder if an engine could find this move. It's stored in hash now. So that's why queen to h3, bishop. This is amazing. Well, I hope you enjoyed this game. This is the power of AlphaZero. Down below, I'll put some links to AlphaZero and how it was developed and everything. Some facts about AlphaZero. Thanks for watching, and see you until next time.